This is Greenland. Straddling the Arctic Circle, it's the world's largest island, covering an area more than 4 times the size of France. Greenland is a majestic, remote place where temperatures can plummet to a savage minus 50 degrees Celsius. It's part of the Kingdom of Denmark and has a population of 55,000, the majority of whom live in the capital, Nuuk. On Transworld Sports Visit to Nuuk, there were more people in town than usual because, like us, they'd headed here for one of the biggest events in Greenland's history, the 2016 Arctic Winter Games. Dating back to 1970, the Games are held every 2 years and are a celebration of Arctic sports and culture. Organizer of this year's event in Nuuk is Malina Abelson.
Det er jo en del af vores kultur, det her med, at vi har nogle arktiske sportsgrene, som går på tværs af Arktis. Så det er rigtig vigtigt, at vi mødes tværarktisk og fastholder den her kultur, fordi det er vigtigt for os, og fordi vi har noget, vi har til fælles. Så det har stor kulturel betydning, det her også.
9 regions of the Arctic are represented at the Games. There are teams from Canada, the United States, Russia, Norway, Finland, Sweden, and of course Greenland. The Arctic sports and traditional Inuit games are the undoubted highlight of the week-long event, which also features a number of other more mainstream sports. The opening event is the Neal Jump, in which competitors have 3 attempts to leap from a kneeling position to the furthest distance possible. Overseeing proceedings is head official Sam Strange of Alaska.
This is one of those games that takes a tremendous amount of core strength. A lot of core. As you see, they're kneeling down with their feet flat underneath them, and their bum has to stay seated on their heels throughout the whole attempt. They can swing their arms. Idea is then to thrust their body forward. The best way I can describe it is like Superman, kind of flat, lunging out, bringing both feet under them, landing on both feet at the same time, and maintaining their balance. This is one of those games that takes a tremendous amount of core to be able to do that and to get that great distance. Even just to do it in general is a great feat.
The skills displayed in many of the events date back thousands of years and were once necessary for the survival of those who lived in the Arctic. The Neal Jump reflects the speed and balance needed whilst out on moving ice. A hunter kneeling down fishing through an ice hole would have to be agile and quick if the ice were to suddenly break underneath them. The Neal Jump is won by Greenland's Tony Fisker with a leap of 1.5 meters. Tony is the world's leading Arctic sports athlete, poster boy for the 2016 Games.
Altså, han er jo en fantastisk atlet, Tony Fisker, men ikke nok med, at han bare er en fantastisk atlet. Tony Fisker er også blevet vores ambassadør lige fra starten, fordi han er utrolig god til at lære andre netop om arktisk sport. Han er god til at fortælle, hvorfor har vi arktisk sport, hvad kommer de her forskellige discipliner ud af, som er egentlig forberedelse til jagt ofte. Han har virkelig påtaget sig den her rolle med at videreføre det, fordi det jo heller ikke er skrevet ned, så det er alt overleveret mundtligt, og der spiller han altså en rigtig god ambassadørrolle, så udover at være en fantastisk atlet, så er han en kulturel personlighed.
27-year-old Tony hails from a remote community in the north of Greenland. He moved down to Nuuk to further his education, and it's where he lives today with his wife Tina and their 2 young children. Tony works as a pilot for Air Greenland, and because of his success at the Arctic Games over the years, he's become a well-known face in his homeland.
I love competing at the Games. I don't get quite as nervous anymore, maybe because I've learned to control my feelings more. I'm calm once the competition is underway, and I think that's a big reason why I seem to do well. To be at my best, I'm aware that I have to focus and stay relaxed.
In the 2-foot high kick event, competitors have to hit the suspended target with their feet together and land without losing their balance. When winds across the ice made vocal communication impossible, a hunter would signal to his village that he'd taken a kill by doing a 2-foot high kick. Coming out on top in this competition is Alaska's Nick Hansen. He manages to achieve a height of 2 meters 43. That's 8 foot. Although Nick emerges as winner, the 28-year-old is just as happy to see his fellow competitors do well.
As a culture, we encourage the strength of our competitors, because if we're out hunting with them, we want them to be just as good as us, if not better, so that we can trust them, and that's kind of where it derives from. So if there's anything I can do to help or make someone better or help them get to their personal record, 3 of us all hit our personal records today, and if I can help make that happen, then I'm a happier guy.
Across town, there's a lively atmosphere at the Hand Games competition. This is an activity of guessing and deceit, where members from one team try to guess which hand opposing players are hiding a small token in. It's one of the few games that doesn't have its origins in hunting or survival skills. It's always been played just for fun.
All of these games are rooted in our culture. They give people an understanding of what life was like in the olden days, when people would meet up and make social events out of playing these games. We're keeping that tradition alive here. You can find out how a hunter hones some of his skills, and we all swap the stories that we've been told by our elders when we meet up at the Arctic Games.
The Stickball is a best-of-3 event which tests a person's grip. The stick is covered in grease, and the game is intended to teach the skills necessary to grab and hold on to a fish. '18-year-old Curtis Willey from Arctic Bay in Canada proves to be the man to beat.
Stickball's on the grip. I really love it, and I love competing in Arctic Winter Games.
Many of the games on display were designed to increase strength, improve endurance, and build up resistance to pain, a quality needed to survive the harsh realities of life in freezing temperatures. The airplane does just that. It starts with the athlete lying face down on the floor. They then make their body firm and rigid and are carried for as long as possible. The attempt is over when the competitor can no longer hold their body rigid. The arm pull is one of the more conventional displays of strength on show and often provided entertainment whilst out on a hunt, which could last for days. The women's competition is won by Greenland's Nadja Olsen. The Sledge Jump is a test of stamina and has its origins in the Siberian Arctic. Competitors must jump over the obstacles which are covered with a caribou hide. Whoever can make the most successful consecutive number of clearances is the winner. 17-year-old reindeer herder Sergei Kudi comes from the Yamal region of northern Russia. He puts on an incredible display and manages to clear 350 sledges. For the locals here in Nuuk, the most anticipated event comes towards the end of the games, and it's the head pull. In this event, which builds up a tolerance for pain, the contest is complete when one of the competitors either pulls their opponent across the line, or if the band slips off their rival's head.
In the head pull, you use a lot of back and neck strength, but you also need to have a good technique. You need to manoeuvre yourself into a position where you don't slip, and you need to make sure your hair doesn't get in the way too. I became good at this event by constant practicing. You need to get a feel for the technique required.
In the final, Tony faces Drew Bell from the Canadian territory of Nunavut. Once again, it's the man from Greenland who's triumphant.
For me, the games have been a lot of fun. The most important thing, though, has been seeing all my old friends from around the Arctic and making new friends too. These games in my homeland have been the best sporting experience of my life, and I'm really pleased with my performances here.
The Arctic Winter Games preserve a heritage of endurance, initiative and cooperation. And it's clear that the people of the Arctic are not going to give up their traditions without a fight.